Good morning, happy Wednesday. Okay, I just got to the restaurant supply store that we have here in Miami, so I'm gonna go pick up the giant bag of flour that I need for all the breads that I need to make this week. So I'm gonna take you along with me. Okay, let's go. So I'm still working my 9 to 5 job. I actually give my 2-week notice tomorrow, but I do have a 9 a.m. meeting and it's 8:48. But instead of going straight there to join my meeting, I'm gonna go get a matcha because I think it is very necessary and I can't get through a dough day without it. So I'm gonna take you guys to my favorite place in Miami to get matcha. I'm already like 10 minutes late to my meeting and I was about to start freaking out, and then I was like, you're giving your notice tomorrow. You're literally quitting. What are they gonna do? Fire you? When you're baking in bulk, it's really important to measure out all of your ingredients separately because the scale can't handle the weight of like this entire thing with flour, with water, with salt, with everything. So I'm using this one container. I'm gonna measure out the flour in here, and then I think I'm gonna put 5 multi-seeds in here. And then in this big one, we're gonna put 12 classics, and I have a bigger one where we're gonna put 15 classics. So this is all for Saturday. And then tomorrow, I think I have to make 12 more. So I know that I need 500 grams of bread flour per loaf, and this is for the 5 that are gonna go in here. So I'm just gonna measure out 2,500. It's 10 grams of salt per loaf, so that means that I need 50 grams of salt in here. I'm gonna fill this one up with just regular room temperature tap water, and then I'm gonna measure this out. These are all the seeds that I'm going to put in the multi-seed loaf. So I just did a mixture of hemp seeds, flax, chia, and then pumpkin seeds. I'm going to stick these in the oven just for like 5 to 7 minutes just to brown them and get them toasted. And I want to do this early. I haven't even mixed my dough together yet because I want them to cool down, because if you put these into your dough when it's like piping hot, then it's going to speed up your bulk fermentation, and I don't want to do that. So I want to make sure these have time to cool down. I almost killed the entire 50-pound bag of flour. Okay, let me show you. So here is the 5 that are going to be multi-seed. Here's 12, so this is the flour and the salt. This one is 14, already has the flour and the salt. So now I just need to let my starter finish rising. I was able to get everything measured ahead of time. So then I'm going to add in the water in the starter, and I'll show you how I mix everything together. I still haven't invested in big equipment for my microbakery, so I'm going to show you how I do everything by hand. So I have these food safe bins that are all linked in my Amazon storefront, but I'm just mixing everything by hand. I don't have a big commercial mixer or anything. And then what you're going to do is go in every about like 30 minutes and do coil folds. When you're working with really large batches of dough, it's a lot easier to do coil folds than it is stretch and folds. Let me know if you want a full video and kind of like what the differences between the two methods. But basically we're just strengthening all of our dough here. Then a few hours later, once everything is done bulk fermenting, we can go in and start doing all of our shaping. All of my doughs are around 950 grams, so I weigh them out on the little scale to make sure that everything is accurate. I do like to leave all of the shaped loaves on the counter for probably around 20 minutes to 30 minutes to let them rest, and you'll see they kind of like flatten out right there. And then we're gonna go in and do our final shaping, which I usually do the caddy clasp method. And then usually when people ask for inclusions that include something like sugar, I always do these inclusions during the final shaping stage, not during stretch and folds or coil folds, because sugar can really mess up your entire dough. So this is me adding some cinnamon sugar, and then the cinnamon sugar raisin loaves. These are all, once they're fully finished, they're gonna go into the wicker baskets with cheesecloth, and then that's all gonna go in the fridge overnight. I do a cold proof of at least 12 hours, and I sometimes push it to as long as 3 days, but nothing longer than 3 days usually. Okay, so today is Friday, which means that I have officially given my 2-week notice for my corporate job. I am feeling overwhelmed. I don't know. I think that I thought that I was gonna feel super like happy and excited and been like dancing all around the house, but I am kind of feeling like I'm grieving like the life I thought that I was gonna have in this career that I put almost a decades of work into, and now I'm completely switching tracks and we're doing something different. We're gonna go to Paris, but we still have bread that needs to be made. So you guys saw I did my entire dough day yesterday. So tonight, Friday night, I'm gonna go bake all the loaves that I made yesterday, but I also have to make 14 more loaves because I have one private class on Saturday and I have one private class on Sunday. So I wanted to break up those dough days because I didn't want to bake something on Friday that I'm giving to somebody on Sunday, because at that point it's going to be too old. So I want to make sure I make it Friday, cook it Saturday morning for the Saturday class, and bake it Saturday night for the Sunday morning class. And then I'm also going to show you just like how I prepare for a private sourdough class. There's a lot of different things that I bring in, like dough in different stages in my starter, and I bring them some supplies for the class as well. So I'll show you like how I set everything up for them. My starter is ready. So let's go do mini dough day part 2. Oh shit. At least the lid was on. Alright, we got a little bit of a change in scenery. I had to come to my parents' house because guess what? The oven in my house is trash, absolute garbage. I have tried to do full-on dough days in that oven and it just doesn't work. So number one, the like heat distribution in that oven, absolutely horrible. Any of the loaves that end up in the back of the oven burn immediately. Any of the ones at the front are okay, but like the back half of them burn and then the front half is okay, and so then I have to keep turning them. But the biggest problem is that it's not able to retain heat for a long enough period of time for me to be able to do multiple batches of bread. And so I can put in one batch and it's fine, but as soon as I get to the second or third batch, the temperature just doesn't go back up to 500, and then all the loaves end up completely raw in the middle, and it's such a jump scare, it's horrible. So I had to pack up all my little loaves from the fridge and bring them to my parents' house, and so we're gonna finish up dough day here. So the process that has saved me so much time in being able to bake multiple loaves all at the same time is the double loaf pan method. So I can bake 5 of loaves of sourdough in the oven all at one time, as opposed to just doing like 2 at a time with a big Dutch oven, because that's all that would fit. I put my sourdough loaves in wicker baskets and then cheesecloth, and then I cover them up when I put them in the fridge. And it's important that you put them in upside down. So this is the bottom of your loaf. That's where like the little seam was. That way you can just plop it right in, and now this is the top of your loaf. And then these I just wash in their own load of laundry. And I have all these wicker baskets that you can get for really cheap in bulk. Good morning. It's very bright and early. What am I even talking about? Okay, I have my private class today at 3. It's like 7:30. So I'm gonna go. We have to make the dough that they're gonna shape because I have to bring dough in different stages. Okay, let me do that, and then I have to find time to shower and get ready,
and then I have to print out all of the packaging stuff. I'll show you how I do that and set up the table and everything for my pickups today. And I also have to feed my starter again to make sure that it's big enough by the time that we get to class. I got a lot to do. Okay. So I had some extra active starter after I made the dough that I'm gonna bring to class today. So what I'm gonna do is I have some of this coarse-sand flour, and I wanted to make some loaves. I'm just gonna make two. I wanted to make some loaves that are half coarse-sand and half bread flour. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that since I have some active starter on hand anyway. We officially have the doughs of the day. These are the two classics that I'm gonna bring to class, and they're gonna use this to shape. And this is the half coarse-sand, half bread flour. That is just a little experiment for myself and for my family. So we're gonna do the stretch and folds and everything for this in a little bit. But let's go shower and get ready. Okay, so I just showered, got ready. This is the shirt that I always wear for teaching classes because it's really cute. So we're gonna do some of the packaging, and then we're gonna put all the breads in the packaging, set up the table, and then we'll be good for pickups today. Happy pickup day. All of the labels here that I made on Canva, and they're just saved as files to my phone. So I'm gonna select like the classic loaf, and then let me show you this too. I used the ordering platform Hotplate, and so it shows me exactly who ordered what and like how many of them. And so if I go back to this tab, it's gonna tell me in grand total I have 19 classic loaves. So when I go back to my label printer, I know that I need to print out 19 copies for pickups, but then I have 4 copies for the private and 6 for the private. 29. Okay, that was that entire roll, but you just replace it with new ones. You just buy these on Amazon. They're very easy. So these are the bags that I get on Amazon. I like these because they have the tab, and I'll show you later how easy it is. Just roll it down, tab it. Before I used to get the ones that had the stickers, but then the stickers always fell, and then the bags would open, and then it was a whole thing. So here's a little fun fact for you. It is a legal requirement in Florida that you have to have this sentence on the packaging of your products. So it basically says, the reason why I'm allowed to sell these products is because of something called the cottage food law. So that says that if you have a product like bread that is not very high risk of like giving people food poisoning and stuff, you can sell it out of your home directly to a consumer, but you do have to let the consumer know that it is done under a cottage food law regulation, and that there's nobody who's coming into my house to like do a food inspection or like a food safety handling or anything like that. I'm gonna do the stretch and folds. I have all of my bags ready. I have all of the labels printed on everything, but I was running into issues with pickups because people don't know whose order is whose. So basically what I'm doing is just writing people's names. So I'm going to show you how I go into Hotplate. This is the packing tab, so it'll tell you right here, like this girl Monica, she has 1 classic and 1 multi-seed. So I'll find the bag that says classic and then the bag that says multi-seed, and I'll write her name on it, and then that way she knows that those are for her. Monica. Whenever somebody orders sourdough starter, I give it to them in these little containers, and then I put this little container in this bag with their name on it. I got a package from Amazon for the microbakery, so let's open it up really quick because we're kind of running late. Got some more disposable gloves because I like to give people the option during classes to wear gloves. 4 bags was just perfect because I just killed all the ones that I had. And then again, these are the ones with the tabs, and everything's linked on my Amazon storefront. Like literally anything that I use either to make bread, like for myself and my family, or for running the microwave.
all of the loaves for the private classes, so we're right back to baking. We had a really successful day of pickup orders. Everybody got their orders, no complaints. Now I am just gonna head over to my private class and I'm gonna show you guys everything that I pack for a private class. And usually, because it's a smaller group, it's only 4 people, it should probably only take like an hour and a half, but it is a half hour away and then a half hour back, so very busy day today. We're back home to a clean kitchen, you guys. Yay, I'm so happy and I'm so freaking tired on TikTok, but I'm trying to get more into YouTube, and so this is good because it films that way. I am beyond exhausted. All I want to do is just go to bed. I'm over it. We got class tomorrow morning. Let's make dough. And we're gonna feed the starter so it's ready for tomorrow. Alright, let's just do this really quick and then we can go to bed. Good morning, happy Sunday. I am in the same exact outfit that I was in yesterday because this is the outfit that I like to wear to my private classes. Okay, so the plan for today is that we're gonna go to the grocery store because I need to get some extra flour and salt and just like make sure that I have everything for their class. We're gonna pack up all of the breads that I have. We're gonna pack up for class. We're gonna go to class. It's 8:45, class starts at 10, but it's only 15 minutes away, so I'm not that worried about it. And then we can be free and we can rest and we can sleep. All right, let's go. This actually happens to me pretty often where I can be like absolutely exhausted and honestly like kind of grumpy like going into a class just because there's so much like prep work between the bakery and everything going into it. But then as soon as I get there, it's like people are so excited and they're asking great questions and they're just like having fun all together, and the energy in those rooms is so positive and good, and that it just like rubs off on me. And so after class I know I'm gonna be in a really good mood, and I leave feeling like re-energized and feeling like more passionate about what I do, because I'm like, wait, all these people care about it, they're all like complimenting me, they're all shocked that it takes so much work and so many steps and so much effort, and they're like, wow, like good for you that you're able to do this. So that was just a little note. So let's go to the grocery store. All right, got back, but I remembered that if you have a microbakery, you should have your own like business bank account with a business card, and then make sure that you use all of those cards for all of these transactions that are related to your microbakery. It's gonna make your accounting like way easier. 1 loaf of bread for every single participant. Printed instructions with the recipe for each participant. 1 scale for each participant. A big container of active sourdough starter. Some dough. This is enough for 2 loaves that is ready to be shaped, and this is what we use to practice our shaping, but also how I show them that during the lamination step you can add some inclusions there. A wet jar or a mason jar, so that this one is completely empty, and I use it to demonstrate how to feed your sourdough starter in this jar. Gloves in case they want to use them. Water bottles. Scoring tool. Lots of spatulas. I bring a lot of these little plastic containers because I like to put sourdough starter in here and then they can just take this home with them. Flour for making the bread. All-purpose flour for feeding the starter. Salt. Inclusions that they requested. This is everything but the bagel. This is cinnamon and also brown sugar.
Ahí están ya.
Llegaron.
Ya, porque deben estar puntuales.
Oh, this is gonna have to be a later problem. I'm back home. We did all of our classes. We did all of our breads. We're all done for the week. Now it's time to rest. Thanks for following along.